On a cold November night in 1957, police stepped into a farmhouse in Plainfield, Wisconsin. They walked straight into a nightmare. What looked like an ordinary rural home hid something unspeakable inside. Chairs upholstered in human skin, bowls carved from skulls, and masks made from the faces of the dead. This wasn't the work of a madman, but that of Ed Gein, a quiet farmer whose crimes would inspire Psycho, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs. I'm your host, and this is the first installment of our series exploring the dark legacy of the most notorious killer in history. So why do we tell these stories? Because they're not just tales of blood and guts. They're warnings. Each story has a lesson in death, a unique psychology that, if understood, can help us avoid the pitfalls that lead to destruction. In Ed Gein's case, his story begins, like many homicides, with a family. After killing his father when he was 15, Gein inherited the family farm and lived there with his mother until her death 16 years later. It was only after he buried her that he began to have second thoughts. Maybe he should have put her in a coffin instead of the shallow grave he had dug. Perhaps he could have embalmed her or even preserved her body through the process of mummification. Or maybe, just maybe, he could keep her alive. As the story goes, these thoughts turned into obsessions, leading him to murder again and to experiment with the bodies of his victims in ways too gruesome to describe here. But we will be showing some of those details in an upcoming episode. The good news is that understanding the root of these obsessions, perhaps a troubled relationship with his mother or a chemical imbalance in his brain, can help us recognize similar destructive tendencies in ourselves and in others. By learning about the warning signs of mental illness, we can reach out for help before it's too late. And that's what the lessons in death are all about. So join us every week as we explore the dark side of human nature, one killer at a time. Coming up next, hear how a chance encounter led to a string of murders in Jacksonville, Florida. Then in 2 weeks, find out how a young woman escaped an axe murderer in Minnesota. These are just a few of the cases we'll be covering in this series, all of which are guaranteed to keep you on the edge of your seat. So make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you want to learn more about the psychology of serial killers, check out the link in the description below. Now let's get back to Ed Gein and his unimaginable crimes.